HIPAA, whether something else, and we started to get very interesting requests. So the requests were like, well, we're using Currento. We have been working on this for like 1 year, but we can't stabilize it. Can you help us? So we start digging into this project, find out Currento had certain issues, and kind of, and then we switched to MediaSoup. Then we had another project came in, and they said, well, we have been using Jitsi for some time. Well, we can't get it. Certain things. Can you help us? We start digging in it, start finding the issues.
Yeah.
Then I think you remember Sahi.
I remember Sahi. Yep. Yep.
Yes. So he became a CEO of a company called TestRTC.
Yep.
And TestRTC has been sold. And TestRTC actually was one of our clients. And what we have integrated for them was MediaSoup, checking on the load testing for the WebRTC projects. And so we did project by project, and we started realizing that people came to us always, we're fed up with Janus, we're fed up with Jitsi, we're fed up with Currento, just change to something else. And we always change to MediaSoup. And why
Yeah.
MediaSoup? The reason is simple, because they had just good documentation, and the community. It's community driven, right? It's live,
Right. Right.
and but there is but Jitsi, for example, I understand why you mentioned Jitsi, because if you say, well, we want something very quick, it is gonna take you maybe a couple of hours, and you have already a demo ready with Jitsi,
Out of the
super
box.
fast, out
Yep.
of the box. That's why it's very different from MediaSoup, because with Jitsi, it's kind of out of the box and you can play around with it very fast. You can put your front end and boom, you have mobile application, they can have React Native, you can have web applications really fast. But the problem is Jitsi is written, it has 5 components, and all of those components, they're big on the background, they're written in very complicated languages. And those are not JavaScript. Those are Lua, C++, some, I don't know, some like 6 or 7 languages. And if you want someone to work on Jitsi, he has to know all of those. So you can't have 2 or 3 people knowing each of the language working. No, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And why I know so much about the Jitsi, because we hired one guy, and he is part of the WebRTC world community. He is from Ukraine, and he knows the founders of Jitsi, he knows the founders of Yanis, he knows all those founders, and he has working with Jitsi for 6 years, building the product. And if you want, I can share with you this product.
Yeah.
They spent like, I don't know, like $5 or $6 million just building it. It's more with IP telephony. Um, and he said he will never ever work with Jitsi anymore. Not because it was bad in the beginning, but he said, well, in the beginning it was super fast, it was super good, and then at some point that was just a disaster. To rewrite something, to do something there was very, very complicated and very, very time consuming. So and there were certain roadblocks that he couldn't overcome, even after 6 years working with that.
Yeah.
So he started to do pet projects on MediaSoup. He started pushing there, like put in the community, and we said, okay, well, let's work on the MediaSoup as all projects. And if somebody wants open source media server, we're gonna use the MediaSoup. That's a little bit of the background. So
Okay. What was the
the
name of that phone IP phone company?
I'm I honestly did forget, but I will,
Yeah. Send it. Yeah. I'm curious.
I will send it to you. Yes, but
So so he did
it's
switch from Jitsi to Media Soup, or and then
yes,
and his comments are what about Media Soup? It's more
yeah,
flexible. Like what's the difference? The main differences.
yes. So the main difference is very simple. So Media Soup um, is quite. Do you know Play-Doh?
Play-Doh, yeah.
Yes. So you can imagine media soup is a Play-Doh. It's very raw, but the basic things, the fundamentals of it are at the core is pretty solid. So whatever you built on top of it is pretty solid.
Okay.
And there is a company called Daily Co. Do you know Daily Co?
Daily call sounds familiar.
Here it's in the chat.
Daily.co. Okay, let me open that.
Yes. This product is built on media soup, fully, 100%. Then there is another company. I don't know if you remember. It's called Frozen Mountain. Now they switched to another name called Live Switch. Here it is as well. Uh, it's also built on the media soup. And there is quite a lot of companies that we found out that they build their products based on it. So, and the reason is simple, just because you know, the background and it was pretty solid. But the amount of work for this first functionality is not that small. Like you kind of invest a lot in this. Um, so for this reason, and by the way, it's pretty scalable in terms of the amount of people that you want to have on the call. So for example, if you want to have like 50 people or 100 people, the media soup can allow you to do that. Like in Jitsi, it's a bit more complicated to do that.
Hmm.
I mean, it's possible, but it's just a bit more complicated.
Okay.
So
So,
that was
so with Media Soup, it gives you a strong foundation, but you still have to spend a lot of time and development adding to it and building it out from there. So that's where the cost comes in, right? So from Media Soup, you get the nice foundation, but you got to customize it from there.
yes, quite a lot of customization. And what we have been doing lately was we have been building different engines for different companies, like event management systems. Um, so there was a company like this one, Events 10x. These are like event management companies that has been working, in Africa and Middle East.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we built a whole platform for them, and we also use media for it. So it was kind of tested on large number of people. Of like, so one event could have like 25 to 50,000 people, different rooms in the same time. So you can have like imagine exhibition but online. So you have one-to-one B2B meeting. You have, I don't know, a session where panel discussions. You have just a streaming of somebody giving a speech, or hybrid events where somebody is on the stage giving a speech, but it's also streaming to other platforms. And also you can connect it to, like, I don't know, if you want to connect it to streaming on other platforms like YouTube and other stuff, so that it gives not bad latency of maybe pretty good, like maybe half a second.